guys, it's Yasmin here with the Small Business Spotlight. Today in the studio we have a very special guest. Sylvia, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Sylvia Taylor Adara, and I am the owner of Swayble Promo Agency, which is a marketing agency and community for beauty professionals.
Beautiful. Sylvia, you yourself, you started as a hairstylist. Is this
Yes, I
correct?
did.
When did you start this, your
So
career?
I became a licensed cosmetologist in 2002.
It's 23 years going on.
23 years. I
23
cannot believe it's
years.
been that long already.
That's amazing. When did the decision come to you, or what inspired you to step away from the chair and into marketing, which what you founded Swayble Promo Agency?
Yeah. So in 2020, during the shutdown, during COVID, I found myself with extra time on my hands. And honestly, a couple of years before that, I was already exploring, finding a way to learn something different, even a possible career change. But when the shutdown happened, I really finally had the time to learn something new. And after some meditation and consideration on what it is that I like, my strengths and my weaknesses, I came with my answer was marketing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you used COVID as an opportunity
I did.
to
I
create
used it as
this.
as an opportunity for me to because I've been doing hair all my adult life, and that was all that I knew. And even though I knew I can do more, I never really seemed to have the time because I really stayed busy as a beauty professional as well. I had a very successful career, but that at that time being shut down, not being able to go anywhere, getting everything delivered to the door. I just used it as an opportunity to increase my knowledge and my knowledge in business and marketing.
Now, explain to me Swayble. Where did that name come from? What does it mean to you?
Yeah. So Swayble is a two-word combination of sway and able. And it's how I came up with Swayble. And the promo agency is just talking about the promotions that's needed when we're trying to get new customers and even retain, the clients that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as a hairstylist, I think it's important to develop relationship with your clients, right? Because that's what keeps them coming. I always thought that a hairstylist is like the best therapist
Yeah.
you can possibly have. They're
Absolutely.
doing your hair and you can just talk about anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are literally like therapists
Yeah.
for us.
For sure.
Now, Sylvia, starting a business in itself is difficult. I'm sure you know.
Yes.
What was the biggest struggle or hurdle you had to overcome when you first launched Swable?
The biggest struggle or hurdle that I had to overcome was mainly shifting my identity. All my friends and my family, my sisters, they all knew me as a cosmetologist. Even I think even more than convincing them, I had to convince myself that I can do this. When you're working and doing something for such a long time and you're good at it, for me the biggest hurdle was switching that identity and being able to step into something new as far as my career because I have been working as a cosmetologist for so long.
Right, because you were the one in the chair. Well, not in the chair, because you're
Behind the chair.
behind the
Yeah.
chair. Now you stepped away from that fully, or do you still do hair, or do you do kind of you mix the both?
So right now I do still work behind the chair 3 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your salon is where?
In downtown Winter Haven in Central Florida.
Windsor Haven.
Yes.
Okay. Sylvia, I went on your website and just kind of did a little research. You mentioned that smart marketing and automation. Can you define smart marketing and for a busy salon owner?
Sure. So smart marketing is when you're not taking so much of your work day to do the marketing because certain things like automations is set up. Things that can smart marketing is being able to connect with your clients even while you're working. And I these are things that I learned to do in a few years ago, during the shutdown, I was introduced to a certain software. I started using it, and it has. So let me just back up a little bit and
Yes,
say,
please.
I currently still work 3 days a week downtown Winter Haven, but I moved here in Central Florida 3 years ago, and I didn't know anyone.
Where did you move from?
I moved from Georgia,
Georgia.
from
Atlanta?
not Atlanta, but
Okay.
near Atlanta in Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain. Okay.
Yeah. So I came here to Central Florida here with my mom, and I didn't know anyone. So to start this business, usually as a cosmetologist, you work somewhere, you kind of get people knowing you, and then you transition into owning your own suite. I went right into owning my own suite.
Oh, so you just jumped right in the water.
I did. It was a challenge to me, saying if what I've learned in marketing works, this is my chance to see if it does. And I've been still maintaining that business successfully ever since then.
So you came here, like you said, not knowing anybody. You had obviously no base of clients here whatsoever. And you opened a salon.
Yes, I ran out of space,
You ran out of space.
which a lot of cosmetologists do.
Do they right? They ran out of room or somewhere.
Yep.
And then you just started. How did you do your reach out to bring your clients into?
Yeah. So I started off by getting certified with Google Ads, because I told myself Google Ads will bring them in, and it would be my responsibility to keep them.
Yes.
And I knew that I had that capability. I believed in myself, and the Google Ads did what it did. I took everything that I learned, pour into it. It also wasn't. It also was easier too because of the data, that the feedback that comes with placing ads. So I was able to just place that ad, get that feedback, and make adjustments until I start getting the clients in fast. Actually, yeah.
So when but by doing that, did you see a quick turnaround in clients, like where you were starting to get calls and bookings?
Absolutely. That and so I was getting calls and bookings, and then with that clientele, then they would refer people, and then and I just kept the ads going until I got to a point where I was busy enough to sustain myself.
What's the biggest marketing challenge unique that you see today to beauty professionals?
A member of a few groups on Facebook, of other beauty professionals. And the main thing that I see is people saying, I'm not busy. How can I get busy? It's so many elements that can contribute to being slow. But I think one of the main things is building that relationship with the client. And I'm not talking about that relationship where you're telling all your business or they're telling yours, which that has a little to do with it. But I'm talking about the relationship in between salon visits is where I found my sweet spot. Sending out the salon newsletter has been a great way for me to get clients back sooner.
That's yes, looks like email blasting.
Email blasting,
Email blasting.
exactly.
Okay.
Even text blasting. If
Text blasting. So so it would just kind of be like, oh, we have a promotion happening today, or promotion on this product. You get waxing with the haircut or something like that. Is that what you're?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so I would use that. This is after Google, after getting them in, then I would use the email and text marketing to connect with them, ask for referrals, ask for reviews on Google, which I have a 5-star right now.
That's great. So it you didn't just stop at the chair. Okay, thank you, and then they left out the door. You continue to follow up and keep them involved
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
your salon,
And keep them
and that
involved.
worked for you to bring them back.
Yes. I always say your skill set, the salon experience, and then the marketing for the business. I have found that one just cannot really work without the other.
They have to
They
coincide.
have to coincide because it is some really talented stylists who still are saying they're not busy. So that's how I came up with that conclusion that when all three is intact, then a independent beauty professional can find success.
Sylvia, we see a lot of talk about AI receptionists. What is the number one practical benefit of a small salon gets by implementing AI?
Yeah, one of the cool things is it makes me, I use AI receptionist, and it definitely, aside from it saving me time, I was finding myself with the color bowl in one hand and my phone in the other, or either missing a call. And I don't know if businesses know, but if you don't return a call of a new client like within 30 minutes, really less than that, they're on to the next,
Right. So you have to make sure you get that.
especially the new clients that's calling. So with the AI receptionist, it's just allow me to connect with them, to give them the information that they need, while I'm still working.
That's a perfect example because that happened to me not too long ago. I went and got a haircut and I reached out to a salon and it took them too long to get back to me that I went with someone else and they got back to me the same day. So I went with them because I was like, I don't want to wait. I need this haircut because it's been months.
Yes, yes, and it definitely works. I even so when I first set up the AI receptionist, I made a huge mistake. I set it up. I seen I was getting appointments because the AI would send them a link to the booking site, answer any questions for them. So I'm like, oh, this is working. Well, I end up going to my back office and also seeing that a lot of people who, although I was getting appointments, a lot of people who called did not book. And I think it's because people are still getting used to the AI. It could be a number of reasons. So I had to go back and revise and let the AI know that if they don't book, if this person called and don't book, send me a message. And that's what it does now. And then I will call them.
Oh,
So,
okay. So then it kind of is like, okay, now the human gets involved. Because I
yes.
think a lot of people, not, I think, yes, the AI is starting to overtake a lot, but I think there's still some people who would rather have a human person to connection versus talking with AI. There are some people out there. I'm one of them. I rather talk to somebody, especially when you call, representative. Some people still want that human connection.
I think we all want that human connection. So the sweet spot is what I learned from my mistake is just knowing when to inject a human. As a professional, even if you have a big salon, but especially if you're the sole owner and the operator, you can't answer every calls. And certain questions like what are your prices, where are you located, AI can do that. You
Right,
know,
yeah, I can.
so it's knowing when to inject a human and using AI as a benefit as well. And I, from trial and error,
You did the work.
I found the best
So, would
spot
you
for me.
recommend small salon business owners to start implementing AI to kind of help them alleviate of some of the pressure of having to work here? I need to answer the phone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, any minute questions that, and any salon owner, I'm sure, can attest to this. How many calls do you get? Where are you located? What are your hours of operation? Even though Google will have that information. So little things like that. And then I train my AI and I let it know that if you sense an angry tone or if someone just flat out say, let me speak to someone, then the phone would call will transfer to me.
Okay. When you started your career in cosmetology, were there any struggles for you at first? Like, did you not, were there ever moments of self doubt for you?
Yeah, so when I first started my career, I worked for a company. My first, I would say, 4 years. And then after 4 years, I decided to rent my own space and be an entrepreneur. And I failed twice.
You failed
I
twice.
failed twice, yes. And
Explain that to
what I
me. How
mean
did you
by
fail?
fail is going in, feeling like I had enough clientele to sustain me, and just was not making the profits that I needed to, pay my bills and to stay in business. That happened to me twice, and so when I looked at what was missing, it was the marketing component, and that's was another really motivator for me to go back to school for marketing.
Oh, so you went to school for
I
marketing.
did,
Okay,
yes,
so you have okay.
yes.
Okay.
And then this time, um, I'm my 3 days that I work, I'm doing great with it. The plan is to come from behind the chair and train someone who's more younger and who has a passion for the beauty industry as myself. That is the end goal, but it really feels good to be able to sustain myself as an entrepreneur with my marketing knowledge and of course the skill.
That you have. So when you started off cosmetology, were you working a 9 to 5 job or was just doing hair was your full time? That was
I was
your
doing hair full time, but I was on payroll. I wasn't
okay, because you were working at
for a company.
okay.
Yeah, so they cut me that paycheck.
Okay.
Well, I was never happy with it, but it happened.
So when did you feel like this isn't for me? I don't want to be paid by somebody else. I want to make my own money. I want to be my own boss.
Mainly at first it really wasn't about the money because I was married then. It was mainly when I started having children and I just wanted to make my own schedule. is initially how it started out, and then yeah, that was the main
Right. So
motivator.
you failed twice.
I did.
And those times that you failed, did you ever think to yourself, maybe this isn't for me? Or instead you got up and you brushed off and you kept going. That's what you did.
I think initially I definitely thought maybe it wasn't for me. The entrepreneurship journey. When I worked for someone, I always was like the top retail salesperson. My retention rate was always very acceptable. But when it came to the entrepreneur journey, I did think first, maybe it's not for me. But I have this vision that would not leave. And then I said, it is for me.
It is for you.
It is for me, for
Wow, so
sure.
that's amazing. That's impressive that you failed twice and you didn't let your failures, you turned it into
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
I think that's very inspiring. Sylvia, you obviously, like you said, you use social media now to post your business. When do you think is the right time for a salon to transition from posting on free social media to running paid ads?
Yeah, good question. So it depends on where they're at. So I say if you are a new salon, then you would definitely want to run ads. And when you run the ads, you want to be aware of the data that a platform may have. For example, when I run Facebook ads, they're different than Google ads. One of my most successful campaigns that I've been able to do with Facebook is what I call birthday ads. And that is because Facebook has birthday data. Google does
Yes,
not,
you're right, they do. Yeah.
right? Google is the number one search engine, and that's the benefit there. But when it comes to Facebook, people attention span is very short. So at first I was not finding the success that I wanted with Facebook ads, but then when I start running birthday ads, that's when that was more effective. And all that is letting Facebook know only show this ad to individuals in my area who has a birthday on the month that this ad is running
Oh,
because they
okay.
have that birthday data.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're using all the tools that you have given to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. That's so it just
It, it worked.
it worked.
What is the biggest common mistake do you think you see today that beauty owners make when it comes to marketing?
It seems, and this data is mainly coming from the groups that I'm in, my colleagues that I speak to. It seems that they don't have a plan for marketing at all. They're kind of still running their business the old school way. They may have the online booking, but when it comes to keeping the calendar full, there's no strategy in place. It's kind of like, I hope I'm busy this week, is what I'm seeing. And because in beauty college, they teach you the technical skills. We had to learn about skin, which is the largest organ in our body, right? The hair, the skin, but they do not teach marketing.
So that's something that you would have to learn on your own.
That's something right now you have to learn on your own. However, I am in partnership and I am in progress of working with three beauty schools here in Polk County that are looking to use the software that I use and to create a module for marketing in their school, which
That
I
would
think
very helpful.
yeah, because so many, when you leave some beauty professionals, they will go into booth rental right after school. Yeah, I didn't have that courage, that's happening more and more. So it's going to be nice to see more and more schools help prepare their students for that journey.
Right. So once they do graduate, they have obviously the skills that they learned, and then but also this is an extra where now this is how you can market to bring clients to you. So
Is that instead of just letting them graduate with technical skills, going into booth rental and having, the challenges of not having a marketing
so that's
strategy
what
or
you're
budget.
currently working on with these schools that you're partnering with
Yes.
to offer that.
Yep.
Sylvia, if a salon owner is feeling completely overwhelmed by all things digital, because not everyone, is familiar with digital, what is the single most important action they should focus on right now?
I would say the most important action, and I'm going to say it's going to depend. It's going to depend on two things. Are you trying to get new clients, or are you trying to retain the clients you have? It is cheaper to keep a client that you already have coming back. I will say that. If you have a client base and you have email data, email marketing is going to be the best method for that. If they're getting looking for new clients, I would say local search, having a Google business profile. Right. If you're looking for a restaurant near you, a salon near you, anything a local business, they're going to go straight to Google and search it. And since that is like the number one way people are finding new businesses, I would say have the local business profile in order first
On Google.
on
On Google
Google.
Business. Okay.
On Google Business. Not only does it bring in new clients or get people to trust you, it also can give you insight to what is working, what is not working,
Right, because feedback from the
because of the
clients.
feedback from the clients.
Sylvia, as someone who's been in the beauty industry for 23 years, what advice would you give to the younger generation coming and graduating from beauty school? And what encouragement advice would you give to them to not just be like, you may not get clients right away, but keep pushing? What advice would you give to the younger generation?
Yeah. So the younger generation, I would say first and foremost, study your skill. Study your skill, do your best work every time for every client. I prepare mentally the 3 days that I do work, and I say, this is my first time seeing the client, even if it's my 10th. Keeping that same energy is going to be crucial. And then once you know that you have the skill set to retain a clientele, definitely want to start making sure you implement the business side of it, because there is a business side that should not be ignored, because the skill will sustain, but even if you stay busy, it gets difficult to grow even bigger when you ignore the business. So just really taking the time. And I do marketing work for my business. I spend like 5 hours a week. It's not a lot of time that I have to spend to do a email campaign or to do a new Facebook ad. But I do set aside that time to send out those newsletters, to tell the clients. And so many times I have clients say, oh my goodness, I've been meaning to book with you. I've been meaning to, because
As a lot of people say, I use that.
yeah, and they really have been meaning to, but constantly, meaning, through social media, through email marketing, gives them that nudge to get back to the salon sooner, which grows the revenue.
Right. And what would you say when they reach failure once? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say keep trying. You know why? Because there's enough people to keep everyone busy. There really is. Keep trying. Identify where your weaknesses are, and then just double down on your strengths. And what I do when it comes to identifying my weakness, I just tell myself creativity, customer experience means the customer service, the conversation I'm having with my client, professionalism. So my skill set, my professionalism, and then my business task. Those are the three that I examine regularly to make sure I'm not lacking in either one of those. And that's what's been keeping me, yeah.
I love it. So it's from stories of failure to success. And I love
Yes.
it. Sylvia, it's been a pleasure having you here
Thank
in
you
the
for having me. Oh my goodness, I'm
studios.
so appreciative. Thank you.
Sylvia, please let our audience know where they can find you.
Yeah. So I am on Facebook, and you can find me at marketing for the number four beauty pros. I also created a great campaign that makes it easier for us all, because I feel like it's going to be the easiest way for people to reach out to me. You can text beauty to 863-663-2090. Once you just text beauty to 863-663-2090, then you'll just get some information about today's topics. Shout out to the Small Business Spotlight. Thank you so much for this space and this time, for helping us small business owners get it together and to see our vision come to life. We are so appreciative for you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.